welcome to another exciting edition of Real Talk with Danny LeBon, coming to you live from West Palm Beach, Florida, from a Panera Bread, of all places, because the internet at the Century Village that the senior citizens of today are not big into internet. But we have a great, exciting show for you today with Andrew W.K. on the program and Melissa Villasenor, who you might know from America's Got Talent. Tom, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to listen to the show. And I see Melissa joining us there, too. Hi, Melissa. Nice to have you here. So the way this is going to work is when you guys see your frame light up purple, that means that you're the speaker. So I'm going to start by welcoming Melissa to the show. How are you?
Thanks. I'm good. Thanks for having me on here. This is my first time on Yackit, so it seems pretty cool. Thank you. Good to see you, Danny. And who's Tom Mickleborough? Who's that?
Tom's a listener of the show, I guess, today. Let's find out where Tom is from. Tom, where are you from, sir?
Hey guys, I'm from London in England. I tuned in today to see Andrew WK. I'm seeing him in London in April, but I just wanted to, see the guy and see what happens and stuff.
Very cool. Well, let's talk to Melissa. Melissa, I saw for the first time doing stand-up in LA. I was going to say the UK, but and you're fantastic, and you do impressions and you do stand-up, and tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm from LA. I grew up here. I'm Mexican, and I started doing impressions when I was 12, and I knew I wanted to be a comedian then, and I just kind of started pretty early, I guess. And yeah, it's been going pretty well, I have to say. Right now, doing a lot of shows on the road, a lot of colleges and some clubs too, and it's definitely been a pretty good experience. So yeah, I'm enjoying it for sure.
I don't think enough people give credit to impressionists nowadays. It seems like it's kind of like the forgotten art in a way in comedy, because all the old-time comics were impressionists. People don't know that George Carlin did impressions, Lenny Bruce did impressions, all these great comedians did impressions, but yet for some reason nowadays it's become like, I think everybody loves it, but a lot of comics are afraid to admit it. Have you noticed that? Yes.
I felt that way, and it's so interesting, I guess, when I started, as a kid, I always thought I liked making people laugh with the impressions, and that's really all I knew, and I wanted to share that in stand-up. But as I started doing more stand-up and I would see other comedians, and I always felt that my stuff was kind of different, and sometimes I felt like I felt bad that I wasn't similar to a lot of other comics and stuff, but now I'm pretty thankful for what I have, and I try to make sure I include that in my stand-up, and I don't know, I incorporate it well now, better in my bits than when I first started stand-up, because before when I was just like, oh, well, here's so-and-so with another impression, but now it's kind of evolved with me, and, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I just try to always stay true to what I like to do and what's silly and funny to me, and it seems to go over pretty well most of the time. But yeah, I try not let.
Yeah, I think you're right. The problem is a lot of comics are snobby, and the funny thing is that every comic they love is a great impressionist. Like even like the great comics, I think today one of the best we have is Fred Armisen. And Portlandia is like a brilliant show. Impressionism, being able to do characters, are such an essential, like Will Ferrell, Eddie Murphy, any great comedian that you can name is a great impressionist. But there's a lot of people that can't do them, and I think because they can't do them, they try and hate on people that do them well. But I say keep doing it because you're awesome. I know this is a question we get all the time, but I gotta ask it anyway. Because people are gonna want to know, what are some of your impressions that you love doing, and what are some of the ones that you're sick of doing?
Well, my favorite impressions are always, my favorite one has always been Owen Wilson's. That's my favorite one. I think I like doing the male impressions more, like Michael Jackson and Justin Bieber. Those are my favorites. Some that get tired, I get very sick of doing. I'm sorry to say if no one likes this impression, but I get tired of doing the Kathy Griffin impression. Sometimes Britney Spears, because that one I learned when I was 12, so it's been an old one. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I don't want to do this, but they do well, and it always makes me happy when people enjoy those impressions. Either way, it makes me happy. But the best one, the one that has my heart, is Owen Wilson. I think that's going to be the number one for a long time.
I once asked Darrell Hammond about doing impressions, and I'll tell you what he said after you answered me the question. I want to see if you have a different answer or the same. What is your method in perfecting an impression?
My method is I'll watch something of theirs online, and that's a very good quality clip or an interview of a celebrity talking, and I'll point out what something that they do often when they speak, and I'll look at their mannerisms, but more importantly, I'll write down a few sentences that they're saying, and then I'll record their voice on a recorder, listen to that for a while, and then I'll stop it, and then I'll try it with my recorder and say the lines that they said that I have written, and then I'll listen to myself and listen to them and go back and forth and see if it matches, and then I'll just kind of close my eyes and hear myself and see if it sounds the same. That's my method, pretty much, for the most part. And sometimes, some impressions will take me a long time to learn. Wanda Sykes definitely took me a while. I remember it, and it always takes. You always need that time to keep structuring it. But sometimes, some cases, an impression would kind of happen a little easier. Like Natalie Portman's did when I saw Black Swan, and after I kind of saw the movie, I just walked out, and then I started speaking like her, because the way she spoke in that movie was very, I don't know. I kind of just hooked onto me. So sometimes they'll happen easier. Some are very difficult to learn, and some I just can't tackle, like Whoopi Goldberg's I never got, and Morgan Freeman's I never got. So. Yeah, can't get them all, I guess. But I try. I always challenge myself. I want to learn Clint Eastwood.
Sorry for cutting you off. I thought you finished the sentence. But, yeah, that's cool. That's exactly what Darrell Hammond said. He said that he records them and listens to them piece by piece and repeats and repeats and repeats. Clint Eastwood, that's on the to-do list?
Yeah, that's the next one, because he's pretty funny, He's so old, and he's pretty interesting, and I think he's a cool guy. So that's the next one I hope to learn. Yeah.
I believe you come from a Mexican family, if I'm not mistaken. Did you have a traditionally Mexican family, like what people think when they think of a stereotype of a Mexican family?
Yes, I did. I grew up with, very family-oriented, always kind of stayed home, a lot of Mexican food, strict parents. I think that comes with Mexican families, most of them anyway. My mom is strict. Good parents, though. Went to private Catholic school, though. I don't know what else is I don't know. I guess some things were very, I guess, typical Mexican, but I don't know. I feel like we're quite American, though, too, Well, look at this, So. I
went to a strict Jewish school, so it's interesting. when I talk to people who had religious upbringings and are now in comedy, because I feel like comedy has become, as a community, very, very staunch atheist community, and it's also kind of like frowned upon to any religion. Do you feel the same kind of thing?
Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I didn't get. I don't understand. What did you say?
Well, basically, I always felt like I'd come from this whole other world, having gone to this religious Jewish school and then going into comedy, which I think is very atheist, and it kind of pressures people to be atheist. And I always battle with that, going between the two worlds of coming from a religious Jewish world and coming and living in the comedy world. I wondered if you have similar thoughts on that.
I honestly have never really had a problem with if my religion, you're saying? I'm kind of confused about that.
Yeah, I wasn't clear about it. What I meant is I came from such a sheltered life. I don't know if it's the same with Catholic school, but I came from this whole other world going into comedy, and it's for a long time I just had no idea what the hell anybody was talking about. I don't know if that was a similar thing for you.
Yeah, okay, now I get what you're saying. Definitely. Yeah, because I was also very kind of sheltered growing up too. But I remember going to comedy clubs and everything when I was, I started going around 17, and I felt like stupid because I didn't know what comedians were talking about, and I felt kind of out of place. But I had to grow too, so I think that was partly it, and live life a bit too. And then, now I'm like, oh, now I know what they're talking about. So.
Yeah, that's the same experience that I had. Okay, so I got to put you on the spot. People are dying to hear the impressions. I'm not going to ask you for specific ones. I'll let you do what you want to do. But would you give us a few?
Okay. Let's see. I'd like to do Owen Wilson, I guess. Hey, yeah, Owen Wilson, man. Yeah. So good to see you. Yeah. I don't know. What other ones do you like? Actually, I'm gonna ask you. What one do you like? Just because there's a bunch I don't know if I.
I loved your Kathy Griffin, but after interviewing you now, I don't want to ask you to do it. But how about Wanda?
Yeah, Wanda. Okay, I'll do the Wanda Sykes. Man, what's up? Y'all, what's happening? I don't know if I feel weird doing the impressions right now on spot. I feel like I want to set them up in a little story or something. I guess. I don't know. I was thinking about Wanda Sykes' voice, and she can make anything boring sound exciting because black ladies' voices just get, I don't know, they get you pumped up about stuff. And I was thinking about my voice that if I told you, like, hey, let's go to the library, you'd be like, no, that sounds boring. We're not going to go. But Wanda Sykes saying it, man, you know what? I feel like going to the library. Let's go read some books. Yeah, lead the way. That sounds good. Oh, this is my cat. My cat got in the way. Sorry. I hope the impressions sound okay. I don't know if...
Yeah, they're great. I like what you're saying. It's true. I think black people can get you excited about anything. We have Zero M Shirts writing in saying those are really good. Let's turn it over to one of our listeners who's had the guts to put themselves on camera. And by the way, anybody else who's listening, feel free to join us. all you have to do is click the open window to join the jet, and you could be on camera too. Tom, what do you think of the impressions? How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. I thought the impressions were really quite fun as well. You know, I completely agree with the fact people making pretty much anything extremely exciting. I mean, even the most mundane things like going to the library can sound like the most fantastical adventure you could ever imagine, just because they're so excitable, you know. But yeah, I thought the impressions were really good.
Who would you say is the most impersonated celebrity in the UK right now?
In the UK. Who would you say was the most impersonated person in the UK nowadays? I think probably Bruce Forsyth. Or James Cameron at the minute. From like the Royal Family as well, they're quite.
Alright, well, I think you got cut off there, but we'll go back to Melissa. Melissa, so you have been out there, toured around, and doing stand-up. It's always weird to transition on Yackit, because I always feel like I'm cutting people off, and then I gotta come up with a question. Are there any projects that you're working on? Oh, I love the cat. Look at the cat. Are there any projects that you're working on, or ideas, or things for the future that we could talk about?
Let's see. Well, in terms of stand-up, I'm definitely trying to write more, I guess, stories or things about myself that I want to open up with, and that's what I've been working on right now with stand-up. I'm also taking guitar lessons because I hope to someday do music, and I'm also I've been writing a short story book, and I've been drawing a lot, and I want to work on more original characters aside from impressions, because that's something I have a few, but I don't feel like they're all that strong, but I hope to get some more and get into some more improv classes too, so I can do more sketch comedy, because I love that, and someday acting as well, too. So, I don't know, there's a bunch of things on my list that I want to accomplish and keep getting better at, too, and learn from. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now. Just a lot of different things I'm working on, and, yeah, I'm pretty happy about it all, where it's going, you know? Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about, a lot of people know you from Star Search, I'm sorry, I'm saying Star Search, America's Got Talent. Let's talk about the experience of that. What is it like to go through a show like that? Because I never even go up to those shows. I just find them horrifying. Just, in my head, they're a horrifying experience, so maybe I should, but I don't. So tell me from the inside point of view.
Okay, well, I first got approached by a lady that I worked on a little show with previously, and the summer before that, and she said she'd set up an appointment for me, an audition for America's Got Talent, and I didn't really want to do it at first. I thought I'd look silly on the show, or I don't know what I was so worried about, but it turned out to be a really great experience for me, and it was kind of a perfect fit, a perfect show for someone like me, so it turned out to be fun. It was really cool and opened up a lot of doors and stuff, and I towards the end, though, I kind of, when I was getting closer to, you know, more of the rounds, I was feeling more pressure, though, and a lot of, I don't know, just trying to, like, you know, everyone's like, oh, you got to win this. I'm like, I really didn't want to win to begin with. I asked her. Yeah, so I was pretty satisfied leaving at, you know, at the top 16, or I don't know what it was. Yeah, top 16. Yeah, so I was pretty happy with that. And the beginning experience with the Seattle audition was by far the best experience ever, I think. One of my favorite moments I think I've had in my life. So it was a really fun show, and it was great for me because I realized, wow, this is this is awesome because there's so many of the similar kind of acts on the show. There's a lot of singing, there's a lot of dancing, there's a lot of, I don't know. And for me, I was like, wow, I'm the only kind of person like me on the show, you know? I'm the only one that's kind of bringing something a little different, I think. And I felt pretty proud of that. And I felt pretty proud of, I guess, kind of representing a lot of comedians, too, because no comedians really they don't do that well on that show. And I felt pretty proud, I think. Yeah, that's what that was pretty good.
I like when you wrap up your answers on this show. Like, I can feel the answer winding down. It's funny. Anyway, do you have any advice? For instance, I hate auditioning for things, but it's part of the business and you have to do it. Do you have any advice for going into an audition?
Advice for going into auditions? You guys, my friend, I don't know if you know, my friend Esther Pavitsky's here. She's a very, very funny comedian, and she told me for auditions to be yourself. And you know what? When I auditioned for America's Got Talent, I guess I didn't really care about the show, so I didn't have any nerves. I wasn't nervous, so I didn't expect. I think that was it. That's a good advice, I think, for auditions. Have no expectations. Be yourself and have a fun time. And I think do it for yourself and please yourself. Like, make yourself laugh or do whatever feels right to you. That's all that matters. When I go in, auditions for me at the beginning were a little scary, and I'm starting to get used to them here and there. And I always go in there just making sure that I'm myself and know that, like, oh, I'm bringing something different to the table, and yeah, I always do try to make them laugh and try to make it silly. So, yeah, definitely. Now, I do wrap up my answers the same. You're right. Gosh, I'm not gonna wrap up my answers the same now.
Sorry, I cut you off there. I didn't mean to make you self-conscious about it. I just thought it was funny. But that's good advice. I like that advice. I have an audition in 2 days, and I'm going to try and take your advice. I'm going to do it the Melissa V way. I'm going to try and not give a crap about it, because I think that's what screws me up. All right, let's turn it over to Tom, if you have any questions for Melissa before we wrap up the interview. Tom, being the only one so far who has decided to jump on the window, and for those of you listening to the audio stream, I appreciate you too. I do. I know I sound like I don't, but I do. I would appreciate you more if you jumped on the video screen. Okay, Tom.
Yeah, with the America's Got Talent stuff, I mean, does the show differ any more or less from the show in the UK? Shall I say again?
Melissa, okay. I think I can repeat that for you because it looks like you're having a hard time hearing them. I think the question was if the America's Got Talent is any different than the version they have in the UK.
Well, I haven't seen the UK version, unfortunately. Is it Britain's Got Talent? Is that the one? Yeah? Not if you say yeah. Okay. I don't know. I would think all reality shows are more or less the same. A lot of people auditioning, and a lot of, I don't know. Do they get to vote for you too? Yes? Like, people could call in to see who they want to win? Yeah. It could be the same. I think so. I think so, because, Simon Cowell also was involved with the Britain's Got Talent, right? I don't know, but I think they're all the same. Yes. Let's just say they're all the same.
That cracks me up. We have on the feed comment, Melissa is the coolest, and then a smiley face, I think, that has eyebrows. Possibly. Nebraska. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Also, from what I know. To answer that question, we do have somebody else here. Zero N Shirts is joined in through the window. Welcome. You're right in time for the end of our interview with Melissa New York. Melissa, I guess I'll turn it over to you to plug whatever you want to plug, or if you have any questions for me, I don't know that you would, but I'll turn it over to you.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Danny. This is really cool. I think this is very cool. I don't know what else to say. I guess if anyone is thinking about doing comedy or anything that they want to do in life, I just want to say, yeah, do it. Fulfill that dream, and yeah, that's it. I guess, yeah. Live your one life to the best. Who's that? Hi, Zero N Shirts. Thanks for joining in.
I always feel like I'm talking to hostages on here when, like, nod, blink twice if you're okay. Here, let's say hi to Zero N Shirts.
Hey, how's it going? I finally got the guts to get on this thing. I don't know what to say or anything. I mean, I really appreciate emotions are amazing, and I don't see them too often at all. And this is really good. So I was pretty excited to see that.
Very cool. Thanks for joining. Melissa, do you want to leave us with one more impression and then maybe plug your Twitter and website or anything else, or upcoming shows?
Okay. I guess this is my Miley Cyrus impression. Hi. Yeah, so I have a lot of impressions on my YouTube, and my YouTube name is Melissa V87. My Twitter name is Melissa VPees. That's Pees, because I have a pee habit. And my Facebook is Melissa Comedy. So if you want to follow me and stuff and follow my new creations, that would be cool. And yeah, I guess that's it. And my new website should be online soon. It should be, my brother created it, so that should be pretty cool, I guess. Thanks, Zero N Shirts. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you, Tom. Thanks. And thanks, Danny. Thanks for having me, you guys. You guys are really cool. Have a good day, okay?
Thank you, Melissa. Awesome having you on the show. Melissa Villasenor, everybody. Check her out, and I can't wait to see your characters. Shadowed Star 9 says bye. Thanks, Shadowed Star 9. Coming up on the show, Andrew W. Toy will be joining us to talk about whatever we decide to talk about. I don't know. It's real talk. It happens in real time. I don't know. I don't plan it. Maybe I should. But I like the spontaneity of it. Let's talk to Zero N Shirts for a minute. Find out a little bit about you, sir. Where are you from?
Ooh, I'm in Independence, Kentucky, right over the bridge from Cincinnati, Ohio.
What do you do out there? What kind of life is there in Kentucky?
There's nothing to do in Kentucky. But I mean, like the whole Zero N Shirt thing, I have my own little T-shirt thing. I sell shirts through Zazzle. Pretty much I'm doing that.
That sounds pretty cool. Tell us about your shirts.
What was that? I was slow.
I don't know. I think we lost you there for a second. Tell us about your shirts.
Okay, well, I mean, it's more like novelty type stuff, but I mean, I've also been doing a lot of stuff where it's zombie pinups. I've been doing that on things. Did it?
What?
Melissa, did you want to say something? I think I saw you trying to jump in there.
No, I just didn't know if that was. I didn't know if it was okay for me to head on out, or if that's, or what's happening.
Yeah, you're cool to go. Thanks for being here. You're welcome to stay, but you're also cool to go. It's up to you. But thank you. Zero N shirts, you should raise your microphone and or talk louder. That's the message I'm getting from tech support here. Let's talk to Gianluca Rizzo. Welcome to Real Talk. Thanks for jumping on the camera. I don't know if you're trying to speak there or not, but let's try it again. Say hello. Say what's up. All right, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your mic is not working, Gianluca Rizzo. No mic volume there. Sorry. Odds aren't indeed. Appreciate the try, though. Tom is back with us in the UK. What do you do out there, Tom?
Hi, I don't really do a lot, actually. I recently left my job due to the economic crapfest that we've been introduced to by mostly every other country in the world. I find in my spare time I usually just go around, do things, see people, do stuff, do people, just the usual kind of stuff,
Tom, I had no idea what you said there, but I did hear noise. Zero N shirts, did you hear him?
Yeah, I hear you guys. You hear me fine? I mean, I'll try to adjust the settings on the levels on my mic.
I hear you now, yes. Somebody, Noel Tesma, just writes, Melissa! And she was just here a minute ago. I don't know if you heard her. She was fantastic. Let's go back to Zero N shirts, right from Kentucky, and the T-shirts. Now let's try it again. Tell us a little bit about the T-shirt.
Well, what I said is that I just, on Zazzle.com, I make just novelty-style T-shirts, zombie pinups type things is my main focus right now, and I just thought it'd be fun to make something that's more kind of graphic and horror-esque, but with still that cheesecake factor of the vintage times, of like in the 50s.
Are you a graphic designer? Do you design them yourself? Do you draw them?
Yeah, I went to the Art Institute of Cincinnati and studied graphic design, and it's just really hard to find actual jobs out there. I did like an internship for a little while, and I pretty much took all the information that I got there and just applied it to this T-shirt shop thing that I'm doing for myself currently.
So you were more like an inside man at that internship, basically. You just came in to learn their secrets, an undercover operative.
Did you say something about secrets that they showed pretty much? Because really all that it was is just how they advertised, so to speak, and like the way that they marketed certain things and all that stuff. And so I pretty much just did the same thing that they had me doing, and I just get all the profit instead of them getting a slight portion of it, which is how it was going since I was just working for them. And as it was an internship, I didn't get anything. So
good for you, man. How's it going? Are you selling a lot of shirts?
I mean, right now it's doing okay. I mean, things have been steadily picking up, which I like. I mean, like, I was reading and doing a lot of research, and people have been doing stuff like this, and like for their first year they didn't make any money, and I've been doing pretty decent so far. Enough to make me happy anyway. It could be better.
Well, keep it going, man. Hopefully it will get better. Let's try you again, Tom. See if your mic is working better. Maybe you need to remove it from your face a little bit. It was coming in muffled. But try telling us again what you do out there in the UK.
Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I just seen that Andrew just joined us. Hey, Andrew. I don't really do a lot. I recently lost my job due to the economy melting. So other than that, I usually just play sports games, stuff like that, and just keep active. basically. Chop trees down as well, yeah.
Tom, I'm sorry to hear about you losing your job, but let's turn it over to Andrew WK. It's not the smoothest transition, but Andrew, you still got a job, man, so it's no cheer. Nobody wants to hear about your sadness, Tom. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Danny. Thank you very much for having me. This is very interesting. I apologize about the delay. I had been confused and had thought we started at 7, but I realized it's 6:30, so I do apologize, and thank you very much for having me on.
Apologies definitely accepted, sir, and thank you for being here. You've been on my old show, I don't know if you remember, I used to have a show at a college radio station at Baruch. Do you remember doing that one?
Yes, I do. I do remember that. How long have you been doing this new one on this computer?
This one's pretty new. This one's only been going on for like a month, but it's been a fun month, I tell you, a real fun month. And we have all these people joining in, and basically how this one works is we take questions from the listeners as we go, and I'll moderate and we'll go back and forth, and I'll have questions too. But let's tune in with Johnny Frost here and see where you're coming to us from, and if you have a question for Andrew.
Hey, how's it going, Andrew? Oh man, why can't I hear now? Oh God, what's going on?
Johnny, we hear you. The way this works, I think you're a little confused. We only talk one at a time. So you ask a question, then I'll turn it back over, and then we'll come back to you. So let's try it again.
Oh, okay, thanks a lot. I'm new to this. Man, I don't really have much of a question for you, Andrew, but I just want to tell you, I'm an early childhood educator in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And in my daycare classroom, we're always playing different music. I think we're on Blink-182 and just punk stuff right now. But I actually play your tunes to my 18-month-old.
Huh. Well, it's on me now.
I don't know what happened there. I think you got cut off. Andrew, did you hear him?
I heard, I think the gist of it, the mic did seem to get cut off there towards the end, but it sounded like you were talking about music and that you work in Halifax as a child, teacher, a preschool teacher, and that you've been listening to lots of rock music and fast, high-energy music, and I'm guessing you were saying that maybe the kids have been dancing around to some of our party songs, and that is a great privilege. If children like anything that you do, that's a good sign. So thank you for telling me that, and thank you for being here, Johnny, and tell the children.
Oh, sorry, you kind of cut out there at the end, but yeah, you got it exactly right, and it's just to 2-year-olds just rocking out, jumping around the room and flailing to Party Hard. It's priceless.
That's definitely what the music was designed for flailing and spinning, prancing, leaping, galloping, hopping, any kind of fun movement that your body feels like doing. And with young children, they tend to do that very naturally.
Who's coming at us with a question, then we'll go to Zero Inserts, and then Jason, you're up on deck.
Hey Andrew, I've been a massive fan for quite a while. Your music has helped me through some really tough times. It just lifts you up so much to a level that I can't really explain. I'm coming to see you in London on April 12th, so I'm really looking forward to that. But the real question is, I read on the internet that when you were younger, you wrote a song that got you a juvenile restraining order, and I would love to know what it was and how it went. And that's my question.
Yes, someone was actually just asking me about that a couple of days ago. The song is called My Destiny, and I believe it's up on YouTube. I think someone put it up on YouTube. I don't know exactly where they got it, but My Destiny, that's the song. And actually, I was going to put it on that Mother of Mankind rare and unreleased compilation CD that came out with the Close Calls and with Brick Walls, but I ended up not putting it on there. And The Guardian had hosted the song on their website when I first told what happened all these years later. But I think somehow, somewhere up on YouTube, that song could be listened to if you look it up. I hope it's there, someplace. And thank you for asking about that, and thank you for finding joy and, uplifting feelings in this music. Okay. Oh, but
Cool. All right. Thank you, Tom. We're going to go over to Zero In Shirts, who has a question, and then we'll come back. And I have some questions, and then Jason, who's joining us in the window. Wave if you can hear me, Jason. Cool. Welcome to the show. Zero In Shirts. It's up on you now.
All right. Well, hey, Andrew. Just want to say that throughout the years, I've noticed that you tend to between like The Wolf and Close Call with Brick Walls, there's a big change in the way that you have been singing. And now that you've been doing the whole I Get Wet reunion thing, you've brought it back to a more kind of sound in your live performances. And I was just wondering, in your new album that's going to be coming out, is it going to be kind of more of the old school Andrew, or is it going to a natural progression, kind of like how Close Calls is going?
Thank you very much for being here and for the great question. I always just try to sing the best that I can, and it's sort of like this. Each song asks for a different particular approach, just like you might use, a certain drum fill in a certain song and not in another. I don't usually try to sing one way or another way. I just try to sing the best I can. I've never been a real strong singer, but I keep, getting better from practicing and doing it all these years. And with the new album that I'm working on is a rock and roll album, so it will be, high energy and as spirited and as great as I can sing within that high energy rock sound of music. But yeah, I don't intentionally try to change my voice. I just always try to sing the best I can, and it happens different ways sometimes. Oh, Danny, by the way.
And sorry, what were you saying, Andrew?
Oh, I was just going to say that I have to go at 7:05. And I apologize for the breath.
Gotcha. That's okay. Well, I appreciate you being here. It's nice to have you on another show, and hopefully we'll have you again sometime. Andrew, I think your music is synonymous with partying. So I have a question for you about partying. How do I, Danny Lobel, become the life of a party?
Well, I mean, it seems like you already got a good party vibe going right now. This is a party. That's what I love about the computer and things like this, is being able to gather with people all around the world at once in this very strange, advanced, technological cyberspace zone. This is a party of sorts. To be the life of the party, that makes me think of like being the center of attention, maybe, or wanting to entertain people. That's sort of what I guess have done as well. Because I never was a real outgoing person. Was pretty shy, and still have been in certain ways. Those certain feelings of of fear or awkwardness or being uncomfortable, but I just try to figure out ways to put them to good use, or to have a motivation that pushes me out of that comfort zone, like doing this music. So a good way to be the life of the party is just to start with a basic dance move, maybe with a high knee or a pointed shoe kick, or like a chop as you go kind of move. That will make people start looking at you. And then if you can smile and beam at them while doing the galloping and all that, you'll definitely entertain them to some degree. They might try to punch, though, so you always got to watch out for that.
Thank you. We're going to go to Jason now. Jason Ankerly.
Hey, Andrew. How's it going? Saw you last night in Boston, and met you after the show. Got a picture with you with my wife, and I forgot to say thank you for the advice that I saw online you gave about hair care. Today marks 2 years since I've used shampoo last, so I just wanted to say thanks for that you're solely responsible for that. That's pretty much it.
I haven't seen that advice one. Is shampoo bad for you? Can you fill me in? And then we'll go to you, Chad.
It's not so much that shampoo is bad, it's just that, like a lot of products that are sold, there's usually an exaggeration about how often you should wash it. I mean, I've had friends that, even in the old days, I used to wash my hair twice a day. And it's just soap. It's just putting all that soap is going to strip out the natural oil in your hair. And because, most of us, and myself for many years, did wash our hair so much, our body actually was trying to overcompensate by putting more oil into our head, so that if someone was going to experiment and say, okay, I'm going to try not washing my hair, even just in 1 or 2 days, their hair would get really oily. But once you're patient with it and it balances back out, I think it is quite better for your hair overall. It doesn't maybe work for everybody, and some people can't stand that adjustment period, but I'm really happy that it's worked for Jason, and as you can see, his hair looks fantastic. So I really think the results speak for themselves. Thank you also, Jason, for coming to the show last night. That was a completely over-the-top show in Boston, and I remember your name from over many years, too, so it's also very good to see you continuing to party with us. So thank you very much, sincerely. And say hi to your wife, too.
Good stuff, Jason. Thank you. I might take that advice because I like my hair. I don't want to lose it. Chuck, let's go over to you.
Hey, Andrew. I just want to say a few things. First being, I've been working with youth ministry in my church for a while, and your ability to stay positive, like through any circumstance, especially videos like playing at the Instant Posse's The Gathering, and all the hate, and you just stay positive. Just a major, I don't know, what's the word I'm searching for? It's been a huge motivation. Like, you can do it, so I can do too. And another thing, I really appreciated something you said about how important it is to follow your dreams, kind of regardless of what other people say. And the last several months have been kind of tough. I lost sight of a lot of the things I was kind of going for, and it really helped me out. So thanks for that. And the third thing is, were you at all involved in the creation of the Dorito Taco? Because I remember seeing a tweet from you back in November about the Dorito Taco, and now it's a thing at Taco Bell.
Well, that's a great question, and of course, thank you for all the nice things that you said there. That's inspiring and motivating to me. I also want to remind you and everybody, and myself, that it's as much as I can offer that kind of positive power or encouragement, I'm doing it for myself too, and I'm trying to get that feeling out of this work for me, and at the same time, it's also you and anybody else who chooses to find that in this. There's plenty of people out there that don't find it inspiring, so it's also this amazing choice that you have turned to whatever I'm offering or what anyone else in the world is offering, and extract some value or meaning or worthwhile feeling from it, and it's very magical when it works for us both. It is a true magical process that should never be taken for granted. Not that you would, but it's what makes life worth living. And so do Doritos Locos Tacos. Now, this is a big breakthrough, and yes, I'm amazed that you remember that tweet. I did not invent. I can't take full credit, but I was in on the unveiling and the development of the product very early on, because I've been working with Taco Bell, and we just, as of yesterday, actually launched this TV series that has a lot of Taco Bell in it. It's on Netflix, it's on iTunes, it's on MySpace. I think it's also maybe on Fox Digital's website. But there's a lot of Taco Bell action in this series, and one of the great exciting things was getting to taste one of the very first Doritos Locos Tacos that they ever made. And I don't know if you've had one yet, but if you like hard shell taco and you like Doritos, it really is a giant Dorito chip shell. It's heaven. Thank you.
That's cool that you were a guinea pig on that. On the Dorito taco. I wondered if something would go wrong. We lost Andrew WK to a Dorito chip because the product wasn't, tested properly or something. That would be a tough break for America. All right, Andrew, we do a thing on the show every week called Milk the Guest. We try to get the guest to do something for me. And you had a thing that you released was a lessons in singing called the Zen of Screaming. So today's Milk the Guest is, can I get Andrew WK to teach me how to scream properly?
Yes, Danny, I will do my best. I myself am a humble student of this technique, which was invented by an amazing singing teacher named Melissa Cross, and it's an amazing thing, actually, because the lessons that I took with her and the insight that she's given me and all of her other students, it reveals itself to you over time. So I'm still figuring out things that she said, or still just understanding something that she said 10 years ago, which is satisfying, even though it may be a slow-going kind of process. But she definitely changed my life, not to mention my singing. So she gave me the power to sing better and to be able to play a show every night and do a good job of it. And when the main thing that she says is when you scream, you want to essentially not feel it in your throat at all. It comes more from your nose and from your gut. So try going like this rather than going like. Try just going like something.
That's awesome. Thank you. That was great. Andrew, we're just about out of time for today's show, but I wanted to turn it over to you to plug anything, upcoming shows, Twitter, and any websites or anything. I'm on Twitter too, by the way. This is where I usually plug it, at Danny Lobel. And Andrew, can I get you to follow me on Twitter? Would you follow Danny Lobel on Twitter? All right. I think that's a yes. Anyway, I'll turn it over to you to plug away.
Well, thank you again, Danny. This has been, not only enjoyable but also very interesting. And I had heard of Yackit, but now to see its full potential and how it works, you're doing a great job making the most out of it. And I really do appreciate you inviting me on here. And I only do wish I had more time, and that makes us, have a reason to do it again. So let's do that. I am now going on to Twitter to follow you. My Twitter, of course, is twitter.com/AndrewWK, and there you are. Funny guy with ideas. Follow. Oh wait, I gotta sign in. Okay, hold on 1 second now. But we're on this tour. I'm gonna be on tour until June, and then I'll get back to New York City and resume work on the new rock and roll album. And other than that, I hope to see more folks at these concerts. It's the biggest and best tour that we've ever done. The band has never been better. We've never been more excited and more amazed and grateful that we even get to do any of this. And we've never had bigger or better crowds. It's really incredible to think that now 10, 12 years into this, it still feels like it's building. It's still growing. It's still developing. We haven't hit our peak yet in any regard. And that's thanks to you and everybody else who has stuck with this or come to it now or decided again that they find something that feels good in it. It's a privilege to do this with you and for you. And thank you again for having me on your show.
Andrew, thanks again for always being so generous with your time and doing my shows. You're a wonderful guy, and I hope that the success just builds and builds for you. You're a great man. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been another edition of Real Talk with Gay Lovell. We have another show tomorrow. What time is that tomorrow? 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And who's on? Moshe Kasher is on. Very funny comedian. Moshe Kasher is going to be joining me. So you want to join in and see that? We're here. We're here on Yackit.com. And we give the official voice it, share it, Yackit. Yackit.com, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye now. Talk to you later.